They say healing is beautiful, but the truth? Healing isn't pretty. And that's exactly why most people avoid it. Healing is messy. It's not candles and bubble baths and soft music. It's crying on the floor at 2 a.m. It's facing memories you've buried for years. It's admitting, that really did hurt me, even when you swore you were over it. It's forgiving people who never apologized, letting go of things you never got closure on, relearning how to breathe without the weight of pain sitting on your chest. Healing is having the courage to break cycles that felt normal your entire life, to unlearn behaviors that kept you safe, but also kept you stuck. And most of all, healing forces you to take an honest look in the mirror, not just at what they did to you, but at how you've been responding ever since. That's why healing is hard, because it requires truth. And truth is often uncomfortable. It's easier to stay busy than to be still. It's easier to be angry than to be vulnerable. It's easier to pretend you're fine than to admit you're not. Because when you decide to truly heal, you're deciding to feel. And that's terrifying for people who've spent their whole lives surviving. But let me tell you this, healing is worth it. Not because it's quick, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary if you want to be free. God never intended for you to live your whole life guarded, bitter, or broken. Psalm 147, verse 3 says, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. He heals. But healing is a process, not a magic trick. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes a whole lot of grace, especially for yourself. You'll have days where you feel strong, like you've made progress. And you'll have days where everything feels like it's crashing down again. That's okay. That doesn't mean you're not healing. It means you're human. Healing doesn't always look like a straight line. Sometimes it looks like crying after months of feeling fine. Sometimes it looks like cutting off people you love because they're toxic. Sometimes it looks like choosing peace over being right. Sometimes it's walking away from everything familiar to finally be whole. And yes, it hurts. But here's what I've learned. The pain of healing is far better than the pain of staying broken. Because staying broken only keeps you in the same cycles, attracting the same pain, feeling the same emptiness, living with the same wounds you never dealt with. But when you choose to heal, truly heal, you begin to see the world differently. You start to show up for yourself. You begin to set boundaries you used to feel guilty for. You stop begging to be chosen and start choosing yourself. You stop settling for toxic love, for temporary comfort, because you finally start to believe you're worth more. And that's the real beauty of healing, not the Instagram version, not the surface-level quotes, but the real kind, the kind that makes you confront everything you once ran from and walk through it with God by your side. He never promised the healing would be easy, but He did promise He'd be with you in it. Isaiah 43:2 says, When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. So no, healing isn't pretty. It's painful, it's humbling, it's lonely at times, but it's powerful, it's freeing, it's transformative. And most importantly, it's possible. If you've been avoiding the healing process because you're afraid of the mess it will bring, let this be your reminder. The mess is part of the miracle. You're not weak for breaking down. You're brave for choosing to build yourself back up. So start, even if it's small, even if it's slow, even if it's scary. God doesn't need your perfection, just your permission. Let him into the hurt. Let him walk with you through the ugly parts, because he's not intimidated by your pain. He's the healer. And no matter how long it takes, you will get through this. Not because it's pretty, but because it's worth it.